Hey guys, so I think it's been quite a bit since we've done one of these videos. It's been at least a month, I think, since I've done this. I remember doing one when I was back in the US, but that was more than a month ago now. So yeah, it's been a few weeks since I've done this. So I figured we'll do another one of these. Community reaction video asking you guys what your current thoughts are on the state of the game. Obviously for me, this is more of a PvP based channel. I've always kind of viewed PvP as the centerpiece of the game. So I'll give a very brief summary of what I think of the current game, and then we'll go through some of your guys' responses. We'll probably make this a longer one, like 50 minutes, an hour, or something like that, just because it's been like a little bit since we've done one of these videos. I think the game's in a pretty good spot right now. I do. There's obviously a lot of things we could talk about that they aren't doing very well, which I think people will probably bring up on their own, so we'll address those when they are brought up. But I think one of the reasons why the game, and when I say the game, most of the time I just mean the meta is good, is because they finally started to adhere to their own design philosophy, right? Kind of feels like we went through a stretch where they were just giving us characters that were just not like following the rules of their own rule set, and now they are. So that's why things are, I think, a little bit better. Right? We have characters like Ultra Fusion Zamasu, who I think, you know, next to Red Zamasu are the best in the game. But the reason why I think this Ultra Fusion Zamasu is at the top of the game right now isn't because he's just a better character than the previous characters we've gotten. It's because of the way that he works with his team. He works exceptionally well with Red Fusion Zamasu, with Android 13, and now also with Zenkai Future Gohan. So they're creating a dynamic where the game is not, hopefully this continues moving forward, a dynamic where the game is dominated by not just individual characters, but certain team builds, right? And I think they also did a really good job with the GT boost campaign, because again, GT is another team that I think works and synergizes very well together. It's not really dominated by one single character. I would probably argue it's more dominant, it's single character dominant than the Zamasu team, because obviously Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta is the main character on that setup. But the purpose of the team is essentially to power up Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta in particular, because Purple Super Saiyan 3 GT Goku is a good character, but he's not soloing like teams by himself. GT Spirit Bomb Goku is a really good character, but he's not really soloing teams by himself. The role of those two characters is really to support Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, and that's why that team works the way it does. We have the Frieza Saga team, we have, you know, mix and matches of other teams, but overall I think the game's in a solid position. There are a lot of viable characters you can run. Even characters like Ultra Cell from March are extremely good right now. I just did a video on this character. He's in a really good spot right now in this meta. So overall, I think the game's actually in a pretty solid position in terms of the meta game. But yeah, we'll see what people have to say here, and I'll give my thoughts on what that is. Jordan, okay, here we go. I don't really keep up with Legends too much, mostly because I don't really enjoy the flow of the PvP combat. 1v1 fighting games are never something that I've really gelled in my mind. Combat games like Dark Souls or Elden Ring, where you still have time to make decisions based on your opponent's actions, but to me it's more predictable and easier to learn. This is why, yeah, I knew something was coming. Something was coming. Dark Souls 2. Maybe this will be like a $1 million donation goal. If I hit $1 million in donations, maybe we'll stream Dark Souls 2. How's that sound? All right, the real first comment. I think they're on the right track. Recent releases have helped spice up the meta a bit. They need to keep focusing on releases that offer a buff to multiple tags, ensure units adhere to their design philosophy, and then offer more events. Events is where Legends is really dropping the ball. Yeah, I think this is true. This is definitely, I've noticed this too. I've said multiple times they should do different stamp sheets during these celebrations and offer nice rewards with them. Now that supporter levels are a thing, they should add it to PvP rank rewards, add new free-to-play supporters at 7-day marks on the new stamp sheet. Maybe CC drops on PvP wins, just anything additional, sprinkle more rewards around the game so people feel more rewarded. Here's what my idea is. I think what they should do is, I don't think they need to change what they currently have for supporters. Now, this might sound controversial at first, but hear me out. I think what they have for supporters right now is fine. All they need to do is basically just mimic the Zenkai format, where if you want to pay to get things faster, you can. If you want to pay for levels on your supporters to get those faster, you have the ability to do that. But there should also be a way where you can farm the supporter levels by just playing the game. Is that like insane to say? I don't think that's super crazy. You should have the option to be able to play the game and eventually just earn additional supporter levels, whether it's through certain missions, whether there's a dedicated event to just grinding it and then you get supporter levels through that event. Maybe it's similar to like friendship level where you just have to play the game a lot to grind it up, and eventually you'll have it ranked up. But if you don't want to deal with that, you can simply just, go into the CC shop and pay for the levels. That's probably how they should structure this. They just released that supporter event where you could grind levels for your supporters. It was like a currency you grind. It was like a daily event where you just play the event once a day, and you obtained these exchange items where you could level up your supporters that way. That was a good system. I mean, obviously there was not really I think you ended up getting like 5 levels. It really wasn't that impactful, but it was at least a start, I think. But yeah, events kind of haven't really been the greatest. I mean, we could probably open the events sheet here and take a look at what's currently up. Let's see here. So we have Gold Rush, of course, which is nice. We have like the standard original series events, which they haven't updated in probably years at this point, but these are essentially just for adventures. We do have the raid, which is nice. I think just having a raid up at all times is really good. Helps you farm slot removers, helps you farm other resources, energy, skip tickets. There was a period, I think it might have been last month, actually, in September, where we just didn't have a raid up at all, and it just felt really weird. Because for most of the year, we've actually had a raid up like almost all the time, which is, I think we need that now. There's a few Zamasu events, which are fine, but it's nothing insane. They did give us the Ultra Space Time Rush Light event, which is nice to farm up some Awakened Equip resources. We have the Zenkai Rush Battle for Gohan. They brought back the 21 event. When you actually break everything down, it's actually like not that bad in terms of events that are up. It's just really like new types of events. They just haven't really been innovating with that, right? And I think events just kind of have taken a back seat in this game. PvE events have taken a back seat in this game to PvP. And to me, that's probably just a development resource bottleneck, right? It's kind of like, do we want to devote 40% of our time to doing events? Or do we want to devote 20% of our time to doing events, and then whatever's left over just goes to developing new characters and stuff like that for PvP? So I think it really is just, where do we assign our resources? And it's just a list of priorities that I think is lower. That's why I think it's like this. But I agree, events do kind of feel a little weak. Okay. New philosophy still going strong. Well, it is definitely going stronger now than it was. It's at least good to see Red Zamasu and Future Gohan being really good. Reduction of CC from usual sources is still frustrating, even if it's moved somewhere else. Supporters. Yeah, at this point, supporters have been out for over 2 months, right? And we still only have 3 total supporters. I feel like if it's going to be it's such a slow burn of new supporters, they should have at least given us free-to-play ones, right? Release, and this could also tie into the event thing, right? There's maybe they could just, they don't even need to spend resources on this. So let's go back here. All they need to do, just repurpose this event. Another Future the Android Menace. Just repurpose this event and give us a, Super Saiyan Trunks supporter that is tied to this event that you can grind to level 99 from this event. Repurpose this event, the Evolving Life Form, First Form Cell event, and have us be able to farm up a First Form Cell supporter from this event. At least give us a chance to farm up some supporters, because right now, again, to me, the main point of the supporters system and the reason for it being in the game in the first place is to be a way to counter certain teams. Right now, we only have 3 in the game. You can't really be proactive with doing that if you only have 3 available options with support. You just can't. They've handled this so bad. Supporters, they've not done a good job with this at all. Alrighty. They seem to be back on track, but I think myself and the community are looking for consistency. Future Gohan Zenkai was done well. Ultra Corrupted Fusion Zamasu feels powerful, but not overwhelming to the degree of Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, Frieza, and Namek Goku. I think the main reason was just because they were all using the same team is the main issue with this. But yeah, they were also, again, this is like an example of 3 characters that really just weren't adhering to their own design strategy. Zamasu isn't as big of a culprit because the individual power creep has not really gone up a lot, right? Are we really going to say that? Are we really going to say that this Ultra Fusion Zamasu is just in a vacuum a better individual character than these other Ultras? It's hard to really make that claim. He's not really individually that much better, if he's better at all. Powerful LL unique equipment for Merge Zamasu is very important here too. The fundamental issues of battle system adjustments. Why are we still punished for backfloating? Yeah, this is insane. I don't know. And lack there of CC for the rate we get banner still feels like an issue. Content-wise, though, this campaign needs to be the norm. I really want to start advocating for better PvP rewards, like more CC depending on your ranking. Once you hit godly, unique titles with our placements, people need some form of progression. I think he's supposed to say some form of progression / reward for winning. Yeah, but it's kind of always been like this, right? I mean, like you look at the rewards for PvP. The number 1 ranked player in the world at the end of a PvP season gets like 500 more CC than everyone else. The number 1 ranked person in PvP at the end of the season should get like 20k CC. Like it should be like a legitimate reward. It does not feel that way right now. Iron King paid Toshi to make Android 13 the next MVP 17, but I just can't prove it yet. I think the proof is just the fact that Android 13 is like the least exciting character choice we've ever seen for a Legends Limited character, and they really wanted to ensure that people at least had some incentive to summon for it. That's the only explanation. Dishonorable. Oh boy. I think for me, things have just gotten stale. Most releases don't personally excite me, and even if they do, I actually play the game and that excitement washes over very fast. What keeps me coming back is my unhealthy addiction to PvP, hoping Legends Fest changes things up. To me, this honestly sounds like you should just take a break from the game. Like I'm not trying to be mean about it. It's a legitimate, piece of advice. And again, I'm saying this as somebody that genuinely thinks that the meta is in a good spot right now. Right, we can take a look and just count how many like viable characters. Like there's a lot of viable characters. There's got to be at least like 20, 25, 30 viable characters in PvP, which is insane. Like, that's never okay, it's not never happened, but it's very rare to see that. We have probably right now more viable characters in PvP than we've almost ever had. Probably not ever, right? But it's up there. It is. I mean, again, this is a fine mindset to have. But if somebody has this mindset, to me, it almost just screams like you're probably just better off taking a break and coming back for like a big celebration like Legends Fest. Like there's literally nothing wrong with just taking a step back from the game, enjoying something else, playing other games, doing whatever, and then just coming back for Legends Fest, coming back for Anniversary, or just coming back when a character drops that you're interested in, right? That's the beauty of games like this, is they get updates so frequently that if one update doesn't excite you or one update isn't for you necessarily, then you don't need to play it, because there's eventually probably going to be an update that is for you, that does excite you. And I think that's kind of their, like that's the developer stance on the game as well. We don't expect to maintain the same amount of players that are actively logging into the game throughout the year. But Anniversary and Legends Fest are where we expect a lot of these players to come back. And that's why we see these comeback campaigns happen every single time those celebrations come back. I love Iron Cane. I love him. But like, I think if this is your mindset, most releases don't personally excite. Like again, there's nothing wrong with having this mindset. But it just, to me, it sounds like a mindset that you would just be better off, and it would just benefit you more mental health wise, because he says he has an unhealthy addiction to PvP. Maybe it would benefit you mental health wise if you just take a break from the game. That's it. Good spot, not gonna lie. Meta diversity, Zenkais have been good. LF's units have been good. It's funny how quickly the community can just switch within like 3 releases. Everyone loves the game again after crying about, oh yeah, the game's dead, like they've been saying for 7 years now. The problem is just that whenever we enter this period of August, September, those are just super mega dead months. It really is like February, March, and September, or February, March, August, September are like the 4 months of the year that are what I would consider to be the off months of the game. It's a dead period. They tried this year to try something different with supporters, and I think they did this strategically. I think they did this on purpose. They targeted August as the month they were going to drop supporters, because they marketed it as something that was going to be big, right? They have the 3 kind of like pronged giant app update. It was the UI changes, it was the dynamic area battle system, and then it was the supporter system. So the supporter system was built, it was shipped as part of this massive app overhaul. Unfortunately, it didn't pan out to be very effective or very good at all, right? But I think they decided to push that back to August instead of releasing it during the anniversary, because they wanted to kind of fill in this like dead period gap with something interesting. But unfortunately, it wasn't very good. But yeah, this kind of happens remember the movie celebration last year? It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Kind of nice they didn't release a lot, but they released pretty good content, equipment, Zenkais, and events to actually feel everything a little less annoying. Even the teams are more common in normal fights, and Proud is all for it. I'm not actually familiar with what the meta is in Proud. I just don't really play Proud that often, but Proud. Yeah, what would be the meta in Proud? It would be like Zamasu, probably Red Zamasu. I feel like you kind of have to use the 2 Zamasus, no matter what the format is. 2 Zamasus, maybe you throw 13 on there, and then, man, is this just powerful opponent? Let me just filter by powerful opponent real quick. Zamasu, Frieza, Cell, 13, Red Zamasu, and then who's your 6th? Vegeta? I actually don't know who your 6th would be. You're kind of missing a 6th here. Maybe you... Yeah, I'm not sure. I'd have to think about it more, but like your Proud team probably is just powerful opponent. Powerful opponent is really good. And that's one of the things they've done this year. I would consider 2025 to be the year of villains. Villains have been insane this year. Look, Fusion, Zamasu, Frieza, and Cell, all 3 summonable ultras for villains released this year. We got LF13, LF Metal Cooler, LF Saiyan Saga Vegeta, Demon King Piccolo, Fusion Zamasu also released this year and got a unique equip this year. And I think that's it in terms of like... Oh yeah, Cooler got a Zenkai. Cell got a Zenkai. And then Frieza got an equip. So yeah, I mean, things are looking pretty good for a powerful opponent / villains. And Hit also got a platinum equipment, and Rosé got a platinum equipment. Villains got so much this year, it's actually insane. This has been the year of villains for sure, and I think that's helped the game. If you look at the meta overall right now, let me just unselect powerful opponent. If you look at the meta overall right now, I want to say this is the meta with the least amount of relevant Saiyan characters we've ever seen. Super Saiyan 4, Vegeta, Namek, Goku obviously are still really insane. But besides those 2, like Purple Super Saiyan 3 Goku, yes. Kefla is very good, but the problem with Kefla is her teams are not very good. So you don't really see her very often. And then obviously we just got Ultra Zamasu, who like hard counters Kefla. UI Goku you see every now and then, and Vegeta you see every now and then Kaioken I guess you see every now and then. Yeah, so there's definitely like still some relevant Saiyans, but Saiyans are not dominating the meta, which is very uncommon. I'm really liking the game much more compared to August. Frieza dying down a bit, the number of viable teams available to use them actually pulling off a 10 out of 10 campaign. And Ultra Corrupted Zamasu not being too toxic, all things considered, really improved PvP tenfold. Yeah, again, I think the meta's in a decent spot right now. Mostly extremely disappointed in how they handled Zenkai since Anniversary, except Spirit Bomb GT and Future Gohan, but I absolutely love how they made unique equipments nowadays. They've been killing it with Red Zamasu. He's number 1. Yeah, definitely possible that he's number 1 now, I think, with the Future Gohan release. It depends on how many people actually are running that variant of the team. If you are running the Android 13 version of the Zamasu setup, I think the purple one is better. But if you're running, or I guess if you're running into that version of the team more, then the purple one's better. But if you're running into the Future Gohan version of that team more, then I think the red one actually is a little bit better. And the main reason why is actually, well, let me pull it up. Items, equips. The main reason why I think the red one is better against that specific team is this. The fact that you can rush enough to care about Ultra Zamasu's gauge if he's on standby. Because the reason why this is insane is because if you rush them, your opponent has to cover change into future Gohan. And if your opponent cover changes into future Gohan and eats a rush from red Zamasu with future Gohan, you cannot win the damage calculation. You can't. So this guy has domination over the damage. Like if the match goes to time where you're going to win if you rush and he switches into Gohan. And also the fact that obviously he's going to be able to completely just wall off future Gohan. This is why I actually kind of really hope that future Gohan had some kind of neutral that wasn't just super dependent upon you having a dead ally, because it really improves the power level of this equip and this character. But yeah, I could definitely see this for sure, him being number one right now. But it's like a meta dependent statement. The 13 variant, I personally think the 13 variant of the team is better. So I would personally still have this guy as number one. But it just depends. If you run into the future Gohan version, then yes, the red one I think is better. I might actually try and reach for rank 70 again. I haven't been playing PvP in 3 seasons so far. I'm also a 5-year player. Yeah, so people are enjoying it. Finally have some good diversity in PvP and not just running into the same 3 ultras in the recent Zenkai being actually usable outside of just a week. What's really lacking are the PvE content. It's the one consistent fumble, because there's barely much to do and nothing to farm for. Yeah, this is the same take that Raiden had. By the way, if you guys remember back, I think the last time I did a video like this, which was like a month or a month and a half ago or something like that. This was before I think Purple Super Saiyan 3 came out. You guys remember what I said in that video? I said the biggest problem right now are new LF characters are not strong enough, and LF Zenkais are not strong enough. Fortunately, the past 2 LFs and the past 1 LF Zenkai have been what I would consider to be very, very good. So I think that really has played a big part in why people are feeling that this is a bit of a better period for the game. I like how they handle the future team. None of them are overly toxic, but very powerful. Why couldn't every tag receive this? Good Zenkai, good plat, good release. I think the GT team did actually get this. GT, I mean, people are looking at this future boost campaign and they're like, oh, the future, like, why couldn't they do this for every single tag? GT really got the same treatment. Well, maybe not as good, but it's pretty close. I mean, Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, probably people point to Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta as being toxic. I guess he's definitely less toxic than the 2 Namek Ultras, I would say. But this guy was a very good release. I like his design a lot. The GT Spirit Bomb Goku, I would say, didn't get as good of a Zenkai as Future Gohan, for sure. But his role on GT is very good. And the Tag 4 Unique Equip was pretty good, too. So I think they did a good job with the GT team. So far, I think the track record they've established with this boost campaign format is very good. So our expectations for the next boost campaign, which should be probably January, I would expect one post Legends Fest. The next boost campaign, whatever it is, should have pretty good stuff in it, I would hope, because the track record so far is good. I feel like the game is on a good run so far with LF13, Ultra Zamasu, and now an actual good LF Zenkai with Gohan. I just feel that because of their many mistakes in the past, I'm worried that this phase of good stuff will eventually stop. We'll see. The next thing we have, I think, is going to be kind of like the same type of celebration format that we saw with 13. I think it's going to be like a mini 2 to 3 week celebration. Honestly, very similar to the LOE campaign we saw in August. I think it's going to be one-off LF character, which is going to be this upcoming week on the 28th, I think. Yeah, no, sorry, the 29th. The 29th, I think, will be the final release we get before Legends Fest, but I think it's going to be a one-off release because all of the current campaigns, we have the 2 future theme campaigns, we have the Boost campaign, then we have the Zamasu campaign, are all ending on the 29th. So I think whatever we get next is going to be kind of like a one-off release, and it's going to be the last thing we get before Festival. They did a good job with 13's celebration. 13 plus the Gamma equip was really, really good. So I think whatever we get next could also be really good. It's just going to be Festival. How do they handle Festival? How do they handle the Ultra character, right? We all are kind of nervous about that. But I think if they kind of design the Ultra character to be kind of like Zamasu, where it's not just power creep over the past Ultra characters, he's good because he's effective in countering, well, not even particularly countering the meta, but he's positioned to where he'll be effective against all meta characters and have good partners in what he wants to accomplish. That's what we're looking for. We don't want them to just do the thing they did in 2024, which is what I talked about a lot last year. We go from, let's actually go back to the beginning of 2024. So the first release of 2024 is actually this guy. So this is the non-Zenkai version of this character. This guy enters the battlefield with 100% damage inflicted. And then if we go to the last release of 2024, which is the last LF release, which is technically this Goku, or it could be the Super Saiyan 3 Goku. I'll go with Goku. We go to 170% damage. They pretty much just upped this number by 10% every single release, right? So this is what we don't want to have happen. We don't want to go from 100% damage at the start of the fight to 170% damage at the start of the fight. And we can do the same thing with Ultras, right? The first Ultra in 2024 that we got was Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. And the last Ultra we got in 2024 was Beast Gohan. Let me see. What's the difference here? So this Gohan enters with 170, and then Beast enters with 200. Okay, yeah, it's not that big of a difference, but Beast also has this. I mean, clearly there was insane power creep, but we take a look at like Goku. This is post design change, design philosophy change. Goku and Zamasu starter abilities, 300% damage. 300% damage, and you could go through the list of different abilities they have. You could probably easily make the argument that Goku's starter ability is just better than Zamasu's is. So there isn't this clear-cut power creep of character that released later is just strictly better than character that released earlier, which is obviously very good. Besides the meta thing, which is really good right now, I do think that the Legends is going in a wrong direction with their CC reduction. The problem is that they frequently put out banners and reduce CC for free-to-play and also for pay-to-win. I guess we need to invest smart with our CC. I haven't looked at recent CC counts, but at least a few months ago when I did do a video talking about this, there was not an overall reduction in the amount of CC they gave out. I think probably is just like where they move the CC to. Maybe it's more inconvenient to get CC now more than it used to be. I actually don't know. I haven't looked at the numbers recently, so I can't say for sure, but the last time I checked, there was not a reduction in CC, but it's possible there is. I mean, maybe September was just like really, really bad. I don't know. Or maybe October so far has been really bad. I actually don't know. So I have to look into it, but it's possible. It's possible. I think we're okay right now after the Ultra Majin fiasco. Legends tried to balance and make every character have their own uniqueness with the new design philosophy, although so far not working and Ultra's not affected. Are we? I don't know. I mean, yeah, I think these three probably you can make a case that they kind of just ignored it, but this guy's well designed, I think. I mean, maybe you guys don't agree, but I think he is. The game is getting into a better spot, although being greedy with, I assume we just mean CC. LFs are pretty good. 13, Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Right? Like the last few LFs have been good. 13, Super Saiyan 3 Goku, Kefla. Not you. UI Goku, yeah. Kaioken Goku, Like we kind of get past like the August point, and it's like really good, unique equip for Gammas, unique equip for Red Zamasu, Ultra Fusion Zamasu, like things, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. The game is healing at least. Ultra CMZ is the least toxic Ultra, and that's healing the game. 13 and Future Gohan are giving so much opportunity to old units to be used again. Now, no new events, but at least they're not taking away our CC again. Yeah, so we're getting conflicting reports here, huh? Reducing CC for free-to-play, being greedy with the money. No new events, but at least they're not taking away our CC. I don't know who's correct here. Again, this is why we need to see the numbers. I can't just like trust people saying that, oh, they reduced CC or they didn't reduce CC. Like I have to actually see the data. More enjoyable than dual Namek Ultras ruining the game. Again, I think the issue with this is just that the fact that they were designed to be used together. You can't do this. You got to make Goku on his own teams, and then you got to make Frieza on his own teams. You can't just have them like together. Like that's not what you do. That's why this failed. Zamasu is definitely more manageable while being good enough, at least a good enough threat and being annoying. Definitely think it's heading in the right track as of right now. Okay. Honestly, the best it has been in the whole year. At the start of the year, it wasn't bad, but lacked a bit of diversity. The start of the year, this was, yeah. Start of the year, let's just recap here. Start of the year was like LF Super Saiyan 3 Goku, Green VB, Ultra Beast Gohan, Future Gohan and Trunks, just comboed you forever and ever and ever. Ultra Majin Vegeta. It wasn't great, because then guess what? We went from this into Daima. Went from this into Daima. It's like, what really was better, now or the beginning of the year? It's like a lesser of two evils kind of situation, I guess. In the anniversary, it started somewhat okay, but the double ultras killed the meta. Now we have a huge variety of meta, good characters, good uniques, and Zenkais. Yeah, again, I think right now it is better, definitely. Game has never been at such a low point, really. CC is pretty much unobtainable due to a severe lack of content, which is disgraceful considering the banner prices and rates, and returning players are pretty much forced to reroll all because they stopped playing for a few months. Is that true? I mean, a few months ago, you could have had this team, right? A few months ago, you could have had the GT team, because the GT campaign was like end of August, beginning of September. I don't know. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's true. Also, again, we will need to look at the numbers to see if CC is actually lowered. Because the last time I looked, it was not, but maybe it has been recently. Not really in a great spot. Ultras are too strong, and they obviously cost them more money to obtain. Hardly any events, so no CC. Every Ultra is minimum top 3 if they want people to summon. But this has been the case forever. There's never been a time where an Ultra character has released where it has not been at least a top 3 character in the game. Never happened. Never happened before. Ultra. Let's see. This guy was the best unit in the game. This guy was second best unit in the game. Actually... yeah, second best unit in the game. Best unit in the game. You could argue the androids are better when this guy came out. I think this guy was better. Broly was like at least top 2 when he came out. I mean, things quickly changed because Blue Beast Gohan was basically like a... so you like, you know, Cretaceous period. You have like T-Rexes and Raptors and stuff like that. Blue Beast Gohan was the meteor, essentially. Everything died. It's a mass extinction event happened. Blue Beast Gohan came out. Best unit in the game. This guy was at least top 2. Rose was at least top 3. I think he was top 2. I think he was better than Hit when he came out. Kid Buu was best unit in the game. Vegito Blue was best unit in the game alongside Goku and Frieza. Janemba was the best unit in the game. Ultra UI Goku was the best unit in the game. This Gohan was the best unit in the game. Frieza was the best unit in the game, yeah. Gogeta best unit in the game, Turles best unit in the game, Majin Vegeta best unit in the game, Beast Gohan best unit in the game, Cell best unit in the game. You know, 1A, 1B kind of. I think Frieza was a little better in release, but you know, kind of like both best unit in the game. Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta best unit in the game, and then Ultra Fusion Zamasu best unit in the game. So I mean, yeah, you could look at Ultras and say that they weren't designing these characters with a balanced approach, but that's never been the case. But I think at least with Fusion Zamasu, the way that he is designed, it's not as egregious as something like Majin Vegeta, or something like Gohan, or Ultra UI Goku, or some of these like really, really annoying ones like Blue Kaioken Goku. Not entirely Tani's fault, but Tani marked the downfall of weird release schedules. Yeah, this is okay. No one has brought this up, and I don't think it's that big of a deal, but the release schedules recently have been really random. That's what it feels like to me. Zenkai's being meh, quips half make up for it. I mean, yes, when you're talking about like 1% Zenkai's, I don't know if we can like filter this by like most recent, but like this guy's Zenkai, not very good. Revival Frieza Zenkai was like kind of a recent Zenkai. He was like okay. Android 18 was horrible on her Zenkai. I'm trying to think of like more recent ones we've gotten. Red Frieza's Zenkai was not very good. Wasteland Bandit Yamcha, not very good. Who else got a recent Zenkai? I wish you could order these, but like order of release. Nova Shenron is actually like in the running for like a top 5 worst Zenkai. He's like, actually, he was so bad. Who else did we get? Zenkais have also been pretty infrequent, it feels like. Launch wasn't very good. But yeah, I mean, yes, 1% Zenkais in particular have felt pretty weak. That's for sure. LF Zenkais, though, I mean, Spirit Bomb Goku's pretty good. Cooler really was the one where it was like, all right, like, what, can we like make good LF Zenkai? Like, that's really the point where I'm like, okay, this is actually like a problem now. actually, Cooler was before Spirit Bomb. It was Cooler because actually no, it went Revival UI Goku during the anniversary, who was like, you know, he was good, but he wasn't as good as like the ones from the 6th anniversary. Then we had Cooler, and then it was like, all right, man, like I love Zenkai. Is like, come on, could we make good ones? Then they did Universal Spirit Bomb Goku Zenkai, who was, you know, he was good. He was good. And now Future Gohan, who they're like, all right, let's lock in. So the trajectory is good. At least it's getting better. So I think we'll see what the next one looks like, and then we can really judge how they've handled it. And the new design theory, which in the long run probably easier for them to design kits, hopefully better animations, Legends Fest. Yeah, we'll see. It's amazing what could possibly be far more glorious than 3 Zamasus being viable. Nothing. This is the best campaign ever, and I just know I will pull a few Zamasu. Someone's a Zamasu fan. Doesn't feel like it's improved as much as it should have in these 7 years. It's still way too much of a pain in the ass of Zenkai character. They should at least have all the Zenkai rushes of past Zenkais you didn't get available to unlock through some kind of key. I mean, at the very least, they made it easier to do this with the... I don't know how far down this is going to be. Let's see how long it takes to find this. It's the... Yeah, right here. At least they have this. The future exchange shop. This is something that's actually really, really good. I like that the boost up campaigns do this, because we had the same thing for the GT one, where they put in all of the like specific tag that they're buffing. There's equips in there. There's awakened equip material. There's Zenkai material in here. This is a good way to get Zenkai power for Zenkai characters that are related to like the tags. I like this a lot. I think this is one of the reasons that the boost up campaigns are, they feel like they're actually like pretty good in achieving their goals with buffing the tags. I haven't seen anybody else mention this. They should at least have all the Zenkai rushes of past Zenkais you didn't get available to unlock through some kind of key. I think the reason why he's saying this is because the way that this, I mean, yeah, the Zenkai rush event itself is very annoying. Once you miss a reset of Zenkai Rush, there is no way to like retroactively go back and clear a rush that you missed, I guess is kind of what he's saying, which I get, right? I mean, it is a 2-week long period before it resets, so you have time to do it. But let's say you started playing the game like, I don't know, a month ago or something. You can't go back before you started to a period before you started playing the game and then like do all of the rushes that reset. And the reason why that's important is because that's the only way to obtain the rush metal currency, which is how you get the Zenkai awakening material, right? The Zenkai power, and also the way how you get equipment awakening material. So it is kind of limited in that way, but I mean that's just part of the game, I think. Even if they are the same amount or more, CCs are hard to get, and you get them in smaller amounts, be it through the KO this character quest or just long PvP grinds. They are much harder to get, and that's 100% intentional. CC are hard to get. I don't disagree with this, but I would want to see like a comparison. Like give me a list of like methods of obtaining free-to-play CC now as opposed to like 3 years ago. I would want to see that. I would. And again, I'm not saying this person is wrong in this claim, but I would want to see that like listed out. I like what's happening with Legends, the character choices, animations, banners, gameplay, and etc. I don't know why people have negative opinions about Legends. I'm a full-time Dokkan player, and I'm playing Legends only when I watch a video about it. I think it's... I don't know. I mean... If you're part of the Dokkan, I mean, there's a lot of negativity about Dokkan. It's not just Legends. Both communities have a lot of negativity. To me, it really feels like if you play PvP in this game, at least from what I've seen from people, it really gets you kind of like worked up when something happens that is not in your favor. If like it's not always your fault. Like sometimes like an input doesn't register and the game like misreads what you want to do, and sometimes it lags. So there's a lot of things with the game that can get you frustrated, and I think that's probably one of the reasons why people get pretty like worked up and upset about the game. I think that translates a lot to people just being like negative about it overall. think the meta has been improving a lot over the past couple of months. The GT, Redderman, and now current feature campaigns did a great job at diversifying PvP. Now I just hope they improve on other aspects of the game, like revamping LF and Ultra Banner formats with better pools. Yeah, I mean, we've been hoping for that for a long time. This predates the new design philosophy. This is something that goes back all the way. You know when this really started, at least in my opinion? This really started with the 5th anniversary. Nobody talks about this. I'm the only one that I've seen who's brought this up multiple times. I don't think I can go back far enough on here to like find this. If I go to like expire, let's like scroll wheel down just like forever. How far back do we need to go? We need to go to 2023 May 2023. I'm finding this. I'm finding it. Okay, so yeah, we had. Okay, this is when this started. Goku and Frieza drop. All right. Goku and Frieza, and then they buffed them. I mean, after the buff, they were the clear best unit in the game. Yellow Jiren was really, really good. And then you kind of had like Casserole and Killua. Killua was actually pretty good. Casserole was not good. So you had like 3 good universe rep characters here on this Goku and Frieza banner. But Goku and Frieza were designed in a way to where you really, really wanted to run them with Android 17. So what did they do? Instead of putting Android 17 on the banner, they put somebody like Purple UI Goku on here, and they put Android 17 on this banner, the Universe Rep Huge Summon Collection banner. Guess who else is on here? Purple UI Goku. He's on both banners. All they needed to do, just remove Purple UI on the Goku and Frieza banner, put Blue 17 here, and then you just don't release this banner. But this is really what started this trend of bringing these like good characters back, and instead of just putting them on a new banner, you put them on a separate banner. And this is something that continues today, because look, well, let me just scroll all the way back up. Let's go back to the active banners here. We have Ultra Fusion Zamasu's banner up, and instead of putting Red Zamasu on here, not this guy, they took him and they simply just put him on this banner, the Legends Future banner. yeah, dude. Summon on the Legends Future banner for this guy, instead of just taking him and putting him on the Ultra banner. So I have been talking about this for 2.5 years now, and I don't see them changing this, but it's an issue that's been around for a while. So yeah, kind of sucks. But it really started with that 5th anniversary. It was the 5th anniversary. People think of the 5th anniversary like it was some kind of like godly celebration, and it was very good. The 5th anniversary was really, really good, but the 5th anniversary had some really major problems, and that's one of them. That is what started this trend. The 5th anniversary started it. I think they may be good right now. They released the Zenkai everyone wanted. They made Ultra Corrupted Zamasu balanced and made this game fun, but I hope they could release polls of what DBL players' next Zenkai would be, or maybe a play. They used to do this, yeah. They used to sometimes have these social media posts where it's like, vote for your wanted Zenkai. And they haven't done that in years, I think. But I also hope they lower the price of CC in the packs. Probably not going to happen. I'm surprised nobody has mentioned this so far, but there is a pretty... I don't know if I could actually look at this on here. It's probably the news somewhere. Let's see if I can find it. This. Nobody's mentioned this yet. This is very, very crazy. The 3,500 Chrono Crystals plus item set is coming. On top of Chrono Crystals, players can get Ultra Super Saiyan Rosé Goku Black sleeves. Like, this is not the character. You get the sleeves, a title, a message, and backgrounds. So essentially what this is if you guys remember back to when Ultra Super Vegito got his Platinum equipment, you received these kind of like cosmetic bonuses just simply for summoning on his banner. You didn't have to buy anything. You didn't have to really do anything. You just got these things for summoning on it. It was literally a freebie. You summoned with your CC on the banner, and you just received these for free. Essentially for free, because you're still paying for the summons, but you're not paying for these items. The way that they changed this is, okay, so back when Vegito came out, or back when Vegito got his Platinum equipment, if you already had Super Vegito at 14 stars, you obviously weren't going to summon on his banner. So what they did is they just gave you these items for free in your gift box if you already had Ultra Super Vegito at 14 stars going into that. I think the reason why they changed this is because they already knew that if you had the character at 14 stars, odds are you're most likely a player that's going to want to just buy this with real money anyway. So they put this in the CC shop and attached it to a CC pack instead of just simply giving it to you for free. The reason why this sucks is because there's no way to get this for free, right? With the Super Vegito summons, you could farm CC and use the farmed CC to summon and then get these cosmetics for free. Because this is attached to a paid-only CC pack, you can't get this in any other way than by paying for it. So that is really stupid. I actually wouldn't call this as stupid if they didn't start this trend the way that they started it with Vegito. Right? Vegito, the way that they handled this with Super Vegito banner set the precedent for this. So the fact that they're changing it to something that's strictly worse is very, very bad. And like, I'm not even talking about the price. The pricing of the pack is really bad too. It's like $70 or something. It's pretty bad. But yeah, this is horrible. I'm surprised nobody's really brought this up in particular. But yeah, but this sucks. This sucks. So the overall prices of CC in the pack, I don't think the overall prices are going to change. I do want to mention though, if we pull this up here, I should be good to just show this. Here is the web store. This is actually a new pack they added to the web store. I mean, obviously not many players are going to want to shell out $170 for 16,000 CC, but if you are somebody who's going to be buying CC, this is actually like the best pack they've ever dropped. This pack is really valuable for the dollar amount, you know, compared to how much you're actually getting for this. So the web store essentially is, I mean, yeah, again, this is only for paid players, but he's talking about the prices of CC and the packs. So, I mean, it's just, you know, that's the conversation here. If you're somebody who's willing to buy CC with real money, the web store is just like, there's actually been a lot of times where I haven't even bought the packs in game because the web store packs are just so much better. And I actually get capped out on 200,000 CC by just buying the web store packs. Since the web store came out, like, I don't know the exact number. I will know the exact number when I do my taxes, by the way. But I would have to imagine I've saved a lot of money. It's thousands of dollars. I've saved thousands of dollars probably on purchases in this game since the web store came out. That's really how valuable the web store is. It really changed the game a lot for me. Just came back from the horror of part 3 of the anniversary. I gotta say, if they keep this up, I might go back to casually playing the game. Also, I run no supporter in PvP, skill only. Yeah, skill only, no supporters. I wish that they would just give us more. I really think the problem with the supporter system, besides how you actually get and level up the supporters, I think it is just the fact that there's no, like, it's only 3 in the game right now. The state overall, as far as content and fun, is stale, but the state of DBL right now with the recent Zenkai and Ultra Corrupted Fusions and Moss, I think, is one of the best spots it's been in a long time as far as the meta goes. Yeah, I agree with this. The triple ultra meta was dreadful, and with how they did with the anniversary and being able to run both ultras in the same team was a double snakes. UL should be restrictive. I think it just should be baked into the ultra ability. And I said this a lot recently, but like, we need to like modernize this. I think it's up here. We need to modernize this. 30%, like, all you do is you just slash this by 100% and you just remove key recovery from the starter ability completely, and you just bake like 130% damage into the ultra ability. So you have to build a team around whatever the character's ultra ability is. That's, I think, the best way to do it, but yeah, we'll see. Many teams are fun and optionally good. PO, Androids, GT Future, I think Revival UI, Sans, Sagas in the movies. I'm satisfied, but let's... Oh, Universe Reps, I think he means. Satisfied, but let's see how Fest messes it up. I think Fest will mess it up, but I think it will mess it up in part 3. Because usually with, like, big celebration ultras, that's really when things go badly. The game's in a much better state than it was a month ago. Personally, I feel like some hype is coming back. I predict this hype will continue to build and peak at LF 2025. Legends Fest 2025. Hopefully they don't fumble Legends Fest. I have faith. I do. I think I have more faith now than I did a month and a half ago. like actually. But I do. I'm more confident now because it seems like they're kind of grasping their own design strategy more now than they did. Right, when they gave us that newsletter and they're like, okay, here's our strategy. We're going to make sure characters do this, and that, you know, we want to have characters that have like unique abilities, and everything doesn't want to be homogenized. It sounded good, and then when we actually got the releases, it didn't feel as good. But now it's starting to feel fine because Zamasu's good, Zenkai Future Gohan is good, unique equips for like all these characters are really good, 13 is really good, Purple Super Saiyan 3 is really good. So like I feel relatively good right now. I think it's going in the right direction. 13 was a big help for the game in that he is not super oppressive, but he allows other subpar or average units to keep up with the meta. The feature buffs have been good as well, with the 3 premium units all being great. Yeah, I do agree. I'm really happy with the feature stuff we got. It seems every buff to feature has been extremely good. Unfortunately, I feel as though this is a one-time thing until the next major celebration. Don't know why they don't give every bad unit a unique equip, like Red, Fusion, Zamasu. Another thing I've been talking about, huh? Yeah, I don't know. And we could list them off, you know, Metal Cooler. I wouldn't call this guy bad, but part 1 anniversary character? Come on. I mean, he needs something. Metal Cooler, Evolution Blue Vegeta, Kid Goku, Demon King Piccolo. You know, Red Zamasu got his justice done. No pun intended, I guess. Red Broly. God Goku got justice done for him too. I think we could definitely see one for this Gogeta. He definitely needs something. And then the legendary Super Vegeta. I mean, those are characters that need something. And again, it doesn't take rocket science to know after like a week and a half of the character being out, we messed up. Let's do something about this character. Let's make this character what we envisioned he would look like when we designed them initially. Because there's no way they designed Metal Cooler for him to be as good as he is now. There's no way this was the intended power level of this character. It's impossible. They just released a bundle that costs more than Spark. Okay, yeah, no, I think you're talking about the Rosé thing. Yes. They just released a bundle that costs more than Sparking Zero and gives 3.5k CC and some customization and is based on Ultra Rosé. 90 euros. Is it 90 euros? Let me actually, is it really that expensive? How much is it in US dollars? Let me check. Yeah, it is $75. I think somebody actually mentioned this before, but yeah, it is it is $75. 90 euros. Is that why is it so much more? Because isn't the euro stronger than the dollar right now? I don't know why it's 90 euros. But yeah, I don't know if you could really look at this and extrapolate like your complete thoughts on the game as a whole just based off of this. But yeah, like I said, this is really bad. I can't defend this. I wouldn't try and defend this because it's undefendable. This is very bad. This is bad. The current status of the game feels a little dry, having little to nothing to do. Maybe farm the new Zenkais or push PvP. That's all there basically is. Recent releases felt more fresh and good. Hope this continues to be the case for Fest. Have a nice day. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I guess my question would be, what else do you want to do? The game has pretty much been PvP for a long time. Again, I agree with the take that the events have been underwhelming. That's 100%. I think that's a fine take. I think it's fair because it's true. But like, what else do you want to like? What else would you want to see in the game to give you things to do that's not PvP? That's actually a legitimate question. Like in the comments too, you let me know. What else would you want to be doing in the game? Fair question. I haven't played this game since Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta released, I think. So technically, I feel like I've missed a year worth of content and releases, but now that I'm back, I noticed a lot of things have changed. The campaigns are very short. The game a while used to give us content, including enough CC. Yeah, again, I want to see the data on this. But yeah, this is true. The overall campaigns have been shorter, right? August, we had like the LOE campaign, it was 3 weeks. GT campaign was less than a month. The Android 13 campaign was literally just 2 weeks. And then now this campaign is just basically a month, essentially. Not even, because I think next week's going to be a new one. So they've been giving us shorter celebrations, yeah. Meta's in a much better state than it was after facing pure Triple Ultra for so long. It's not perfect, but it's slowly going uphill again after Future Gohan's fantastic Zenkai and Future being a good team again. Hopefully this energy continues throughout Festival. Trash game. The game won't be good until Toshi and Tani give us 1 million CC and a free 14 stars of every character. I agree. Yeah, this is true. Apprehension. We're in the good part of their dev cycle where they spent enough time fixing the meta after ruining it with Part 3 Ultras, and now we got to enjoy the game. We get to enjoy the game while it's pretty good, only for it to be ruined come Fest Part 3 Ultra, then we're in the good meta waiting room again. It really does feel like this. it does kind of feel like this. I actually don't know if it... Like, Beast Gohan drops Part 3 of Fest 2024. It doesn't feel like that, though, right? Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta drops Part 3 of 6th Anniversary. Does it really feel like that? I don't know. It doesn't feel as bad as, like, Ultra UI Goku drops Part 3 Fest 2023. There's no playable team in the game besides this guy, Bardock, and Goku, and Pikkon. Ultra Vegito Blue drops Part 3 5th Anniversary. There's actually no playable team in the game besides this guy, Goku and Frieza, and Zenkai Sword of Hope Trunks. Ultra Gogeta Blue drops Part 3 Fest 2022. There's no playable team that doesn't have this character on the team. I mean, yeah, this is probably like a true statement. This is probably going to happen. Let's be... I mean, going off of past trends, this is likely to happen. But it hasn't happened every time. I think Beast was a really good release, actually. I think they're building up to something like 2023 Fest, where it was one of the best metas we had if they do things right after this. What they call the best year at DBL. I'm just trying to figure out what he's talking about. With having the meta as 2023 Fest or even better, hope my conclusion is right. I think he's talking about the... he is right. Going into Fest 2023 was a very good meta. This was right before... I'll scroll down quite a bit for this, but it was right before Red Beast dropped and Blue Kaioken Goku and Evolution Blue Vegeta dropped. Yeah, so it was before this guy and this guy dropped. And even Part 1 of 2023 Legends Fest, like Beast Gohan probably was just the best scene in the game next to Ultra Janemba, because Ultra Janemba was blue. And then this character actually was really good in Part 1 of Fest. They just fell off pretty fast. But this was a really, really good meta. It was very, very good. It wasn't until Part 3 dropped where this guy made running any team without this guy and Goku and Bardock on it feel like you were not playing the game. I've not played any since LF Metal Cooler dropped and was disappointed. I heard the most recent LF Zenkais and Uniques are actually good now, but after months of mediocrity, I can't. I'll probably come back during Fest because that's the only time the game's enjoyable besides Anniversary. Okay, that's fair. That's what most players do, right? Most players just, I think, don't even play outside of the major celebrations, but yeah, this is fine. All right, I think we'll do the rest of these, and then I think we'll cut there. As good as this future campaign was bringing us up from probably top 3 worst periods of this game, no, this year's September was not your average dry period. The problem is PvP still like, okay, but expand on this. How is it not the average dry period? What was different about this September than last year's September? Last year's September was really bad. Last year's September was the Z movie celebration, which I can't call it the worst period ever because it's not even close. The only time this game will ever surpass 2021, basically January through October of 2021, is if the game actually like dies. It's impossible to be worse than that. But last year was pretty bad too. The problem is PvP still being dead. BR70 is essentially God rank, and I blame 2.7 backflip penalty. I mean, I think this is a bad change too, and I think they should revert it as well at this point. We've given it enough time. I think it's a bad change. They aren't going to change it because this is they changed it for a reason. And I've mentioned this before. The reason they made this change is to lower the overall skill cap of the game. That's the real change. They can put on this facade. Oh, we want less passive play. We want people to be more proactive with how they play the game, and blah 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 blah. And this is not conjecture. I'm not saying this because I'm speculating. I'm telling you this because I know for a fact. The reason why they made this change is because they want to lower the skill cap of the game. And that's the goal. That was the goal. And it achieved that of the 2.7 battle system change. That's why they did it. So they're not going to change it back because it achieved what they wanted to achieve. But yeah, I mean, PvP is not, it's not like, kicking right now, but I don't think that's not the real issue here. Okay, so we'll do these two and then we're good. It's kind of sad, I'm going to be honest. Ever since the beginning of 25, it's been downhill, really. I don't like how they keep reducing the CC from event. And also there's really any events to play on, and also the game is getting more greedy. Tandy is not cooking. Again, possibly I need to see the data for it. Again, I'm not saying everyone who's claiming that there's less CC, I'm not claiming that they're wrong. I would just like to see the numbers. That's it. Android 13, Ultra Zamasu, Merge Zamasu Unique, features Gohan Zenkai. They seem to be on the right track. But they still have a lot of work to do to redo the damage they caused to the game. Legends Fest might be a make or break it scenario for the game. How many times have we seen this? This celebration might be a make or break it scenario. I don't think so. I think it's important that they nail it. I think it's important that they nail every major celebration. But if Legends Fest is like, people were going into Legends Fest 2024 saying it was a make or break, and overall I would say that, you know, it wasn't really spectacular. So yeah, hopefully it's better than Legends Fest last year, which I think the bar is not very high for it to be better than the Legends Fest last year. I think part 2 and part 3 were decent. But yeah, I have faith that this year's Legends Fest will be better than last year's. But we'll see. Maybe it won't be. I don't know. But there we go. You guys can let me know down below in in the comments what your thoughts are on the current state of the game. Do you think the meta is in a good spot? What do you guys think of the CC situation? Again, I would want to see the actual numbers in front of me. I'd want to see the data. If you guys want to see me do another video talking about that, I'd be more than happy to. The last time I did that, people didn't like the fact that I mean, again, it's not me being biased towards anything. I am simply looking at the numbers and making a conclusion based on the data. It can't get less biased than that, can it? So I don't know. I can do another one of those videos if you want. Last time, again, people got very mad at me because the conclusion was that the CC actually went up from the prior year. But yeah, I would want to see the numbers. If you guys also feel like the CC has been lowered, let me know. It's possible that it has been in the past few months. I haven't looked at it. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this one, and I will see you in the next one.